First of all, hi Dhananjay and congratulations on
Um,
securing so good All India ranks in two most difficult exams for LLM program, that is CLAT and NLU Delhi. First of all, please share your ranks in both the examinations with us.
okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I secured AIR 171 in CLAT entrance examination, and I secured rank 8 in the IELTS exam.
So Dhananjay, it's almost, it's a dream for every aspirant who is preparing for LLM to crack both the exams together when both the exams were scheduled in the difference of 1 week, right? So how do you feel after securing so good ranks in both the papers?
Ma'am, I feel very good. I feel blessed that I was able to secure this rank. I feel very motivated now to try other things and to appear for the examinations because I do think that it gives you a very nice boost when you prepare for something and then you get the results. So it was a very wonderful experience. I was not expecting that I would get a single digit rank in IELTS, but it was a very pleasant surprise.
So, Dhananjay, we as teachers also very feel blessed to see your results and we were very happy to see. So, Dhananjay, first of all, please let us know that when you decided that I want to pursue LLM, what was the right time when, it hit the clock to you कि अब मुझे LLM की तैयारी करनी है और फिर आपने कैसे decide किया कि आप दोनों papers लिखोगे या फिर एक exam को aim करोगे?
Ma'am, I think this was the first batch in which we had the examinations in December, I believe. Earlier, there used to be examinations in the month of June and July. So by the
Correct.
time the students were done with their 10th semester, they could have around 2, 3 months to prepare for the examination. But this time, I think 1 year before the CLAT consortium had notified
Hmm.
that they will be taking the exam in December. So around the month of June and July, we became aware of the fact that we have to start our preparation now. So it took me around till August, I believe. In August, I started preparing for the exam. I tried to make a bird's eye view of the syllabus that is asked in the examinations. I tried to see what all subjects have been asked in the examination, and I came to a conclusion that whatever we have learned throughout the 5 years in the law school, everything has been,
Hmm.
uh, put into the syllabus, and it's a very vast syllabus. So
Correct.
I think I started preparing August, and I still think that I should have probably started in June or July because the
Hmm.
syllabus is very vast. I think there's a lot to revise, there's a lot to learn. We have done the law of contracts in our first semester, we have done law of torts in the second semester. So that was around 4 years ago. So
Correct.
basically, you have to revise a lot and you have to remember a lot of things. Also,
Hmm.
judgments also play a key role. You can't just mug up the judgments. You have to understand. You have to see the chronology, why this judgment came, what was before this judgment. Because I saw in the sample papers that were uploaded by the CLAT consortium on the website, they were asking landmark judgments this time.
Hmm.
So you need to be well prepared with that. So I believe a preparation of around 4 months, 4 to 5 months is good.
Okay.
You should start 4 months,
So,
5 months early.
Dhananjay, what was the real reason behind you deciding to pursue LLM? Like, if you want to go to academics or there was any other reason, what was the motivating factor for you to join LLM studies?
Ma'am, basically the motivating factor for me was I want to pursue PhD in criminal law. So
Hmm.
for that, I thought that LM would be a good base
A
to
stepping
go for that. And
stone.
I think it's a stepping stone. And also, I believe it's compulsory for you to do an LM if you want to do PhD in law.
Correct.
And I think that was one of the reasons. And also, I wanted to stay in touch with academics. I was
Hmm.
preparing for other exams side by side, but I felt that I need to be in touch with academics because I wanted to pursue academics in future. And I believed it was a wonderful opportunity to appear for these exams once again after 5 years. And
Hmm.
I think if I thought that if I get into a good college, I think it will help me academically in other areas also. I think I would be in touch with law throughout. And I think that
Hmm.
would be very helpful. Learning from some of the best teachers in our country in NLUs, I think it would be a good experience.
Hmm. Agreed upon. So, Dhananjay, what all, like when you started preparing for LLM study, what was the first step you took in your preparation journey? And which all exams you focused upon कि हाँ मुझे मतलब एक स्टूडेंट एक लिस्ट बनाता है ना कि मैं ये कॉलेज की
Yes, ma'am.
एग्जाम में अपेयर करूंगा. सो ये दोनों चीजें आप मुझे बताओ कि कौन से एग्जाम्स पे आप फोकस कर रहे थे और दूसरा पहला स्टेप आपने क्या लिया अपने प्रिपरेशन जर्नी में.
Uh, Ma'am, the first step I took was I was clear that I think IELT and CLAT are the two of the most premier exams. So I will focus on preparation on CLAT and IELT. After that, I took out the syllabus for both the examinations. I tried to
Hmm.
understand that what are the common areas in both the subjects, what kind of questions are asked, what is the pattern of the examination. Because I had appeared for IELTS 5 years ago in the
Hmm.
undergrad program, and there they
Hmm.
don't ask you that much of law. Here it was totally law. There's no logical reasoning.
Hmm.
There's a little bit of English grammar, and there's just law. So I looked at the syllabus. I made a bird's eye view of. I made a whole chart of what is asked in the examination, what are the subjects which are common in both the examinations. After that, I tried to map out that if I try to study this subject, it's going to take me around 10 to 15 days, 20 days. So how long do I have to give to each subject? How much I have to dedicate? Then I think one benefit that we had this time was that because our CLAT and ELT exam was in December, I knew that if by some chance if the exam doesn't go well, then I have another opportunity in June and July where I can appear for ILI or DU entrance
Hmm.
examination. So my goal was to clear it this time, but I knew that if it doesn't go well, then I can appear in ILI exam and DU exam in June. So I also looked at their syllabus and I see what else was common. So mostly, I think 95% of the syllabus is common. So if you prepare well enough for these exams, I think you will fare well in those exams as well. So I made a chart. I tried to see how much is needed to, how much do I need to study for particular subjects, and that's what I did basically. I tried to make a outline of the syllabus.
That is what a good like an aspirant should do from the first notion कि मुझे सबसे पहले अपना syllabus chalk out करना चाहिए, मुझे common parameters देखने चाहिए. And absolutely correctly highlight Dhananjay. I also agree upon the same point that it's not compulsory to jot down the exams. I think first you can focus on CLAT
That's
and
right.
AILET and then think about other entrance examinations if
That's
you
right.
do not succeed in both of them. A very good approach. I hope this advice of yours will help many aspirants, many upcoming aspirants. ओके सो धनंजय लेट्स डिस्कस वन बाय वन कि आपने एलिट के लिए कैसे प्रिपेयर किया और क्लैट के लिए कैसे, क्योंकि सिलेबस ऑलमोस्ट सेम है, एग्रीड, बट दोनों का स्ट्रैटेजी आई थिंक बहुत डिफरेंट है. तो मुझे आप सबसे पहले बताओ कि आपने एलिट के लिए कैसे अपनी प्रिपरेशन को स्ट्रैटेजाइज किया.
Ma'am, for AILET, basically, I saw that there were three parts of the examination. You have to do the
हम्म.
English part, then there's a legal part, then the subjective part. So I
Right.
believe there English plays a very, very important role. If you do not secure enough marks in the part A of the exam, you don't proceed to part B. So even if you've got all the answers correct in part B, it's of no use. So it's a very balanced paper. So for English, what I tried to do was I had this book called Compulsory English by A.P. Bhardwaj. I tried to
हम्म.
solve the basics. I tried to get the basics like active voice, passive voice, direct speech, indirect speech. And I had already gone through Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis. So I
Okay.
decided to go through it once again. And basically, I was reading editorial, so, and I could see that almost all the questions related to vocabulary that were asked, they were basically from the editorial itself. So if
हम्म.
you focus on the editorial and you try to follow the process of elimination, basically in 3 to 4 questions, I did not know the answer, but I could eliminate and I could come down to at least one or two options, which I think can be the antonyms or synonyms. So if you do that, I think English paper is doable, but I think you cannot take it lightly, like we did in CLAT or IELT in the undergrad program, where you don't really study much for English.
हम्म.
It's just the basics. But here, I think you need to, for IELTS especially, you need to give a lot of time to English. You need to brush up your skills on English, and it is as important as law.
Correct. Agreed upon. And what about the legal section? How do you start preparing for that? And how we were the part of your journey in this preparation strategy for AILET?
Ma'am, basically in the month of August, when I started preparing for the law subjects, I made an outline. I started to prepare, and I realized that some of these subjects, although I have done them in my law school, but I don't have a good grip over those. My
Hmm.
concepts are not very clear. So that is when I searched online. I came across LegalEdge. I saw that there was a crash course going on. So I enrolled in the crash course. And after that, I allotted the time for self study to only 1 hour. Basically, I
Hmm.
was watching all the videos one by one. And because by the time I had enrolled, there were already a batch was going on. So I had a lot of videos. So I had a benefit of that. I could watch all those videos, and I started watching your videos. I watched Bhumika ma'am's videos, Naman sir's videos, and basically we had numerous teachers talking about the same subject. So basically, first I did constitution with Bhumika ma'am, then Naman sir revised the same constitution again. Then you also had landmark cases classes on that particular subject. So if you watch, even if you just watch all those videos and you revise, I think you basically your concepts are very clear, and by the time you give the exam, you know what kind of questions can be asked, and you can eliminate a lot of other options because the videos are very extensive. I believe uh, I had around more than 110 videos in the crash course. So they were very extensive. I don't think that there was anything that was left. It was, I think it was the whole of 5 years of law were, you know, archived into one crash course. And I think it was very, very helpful. I
Great.
think that's when,
Happy.
after I enrolled in the crash course, I divided my time accordingly. So self-study for just for 1.5 hours, it was just legal edge classes.
Oh, great. Happy to hear that from you. Okay. So, Dhananjay, please tell me what is the difference of strategy, basically preparation strategy? Is that different for CLAT and AILET, or it's same for both of them? What do you think on this particular point?
Ma'am, I believe the IELTS exam was on the second Sunday of December, and the CLAT was on the third December, the third
Third,
Sunday of December.
third week of
So
May.
yes, so till the 1st of December, the strategy is same. You brush
Hmm.
up your concepts. You make sure that you have gone through the landmark cases, you have gone
Hmm.
through the recent cases, and you try to make sure that your basics are right. If your base is good, then you can understand the cases, you can understand the concept, because there is no point reading cases if you're not aware about the concept or the law point or the issue that is involved.
Okay.
After the 1st of December, for those 10 days, I prepared exclusive for IELTS. That is, I looked at the subjective questions. You had
Hmm.
made a video on YouTube also, and there was a video on the portal also as to what kind of questions, subjective questions that may be asked in the exam. Then you read about those topics. For example, you read about UCC, you read
Hmm.
about secularism, you read about the other areas, you talk about the new education policy. So after for those 10 days exclusively, I prepared for IELTS. I looked at English for 5 days, and at 5 days I looked at law. After I
Hmm.
was done with IELTS, then for those next 6 days, because English is not that important for CLAT, and I believe that landmark cases will be more important for CLAT. I for 3 days I studied my basic concept, basic topics. One day criminal law, one day civil law, the other day civil law two, and then for the rest of the 3 days I focused on cases, recent and landmark cases.
Good. So you have mentioned about reading cases for CLAT, right? And even
Hmm.
I believe that without covering the landmark and contemporary cases of the Supreme Court and even High Court for that matter,
Yes,
I don't think so. Cracking CLAT is possible. So
yes, ma'am.
share your strategy of reading cases, because maximum of the aspirants are confused as to what to cover, what to exclude. Because when you're preparing for an entrance exam, I feel that this view of what to read and what not to read is very important. So what was
Yes.
your view, what was your criteria of eliminating reading case laws, and what strategy did you adopt for the same?
Ma'am, regarding this, what I have learned in my 5 years in the law school and in the 1 year preparing for exam, I believe that when you appear for any law exam, it is more important to know what you don't have to study rather than
Mm-hmm.
knowing what you have to study. Because what you have to study, everybody will tell you what you have to study.
Very
It's there on the
true.
website, the CLAT consortium will tell you, but there's a lot of things that you don't need to study. You don't need
Very.
to study Mullah for CPC. You do not need to study CY for Constitution, because that is too much. Law is endless. You can go on reading about it again and again. Rather than reading multiple sources, read one source multiple times. I think that is what I feel is more important. When I started preparing in August for recent cases, I tried to go for live law and the archives, but it becomes a very tedious process to sort it out yourself as to what is important, what is not important. After I enrolled into the Legal Edge program, so you had basically from the month of January 2020, you had
Mhm.
important cases for each month.
Yeah.
So I downloaded all those PDFs for the year 2020, for 21, for 22. Then you
Correct.
had PDFs for landmark cases, important case for 2020, 2021, 2022. So some cases were repeated. I merged all those PDFs, I took a printout and I got it spiral bound. So it was around 390 pages. Then I divided the number of days that I had. So it came out that I need to just do 4.5 or 5 pages every day.
Hmm.
So
Correct.
I just put my focus on that 5 pages every day. And by the time on 1st December, I was done with that spiral. So
Oh,
then I
great.
could only just go revise it again and again. So the first day when you start, you do the 5 pages. The next day you do till page number 10, but you also revise what you did on the first day. So by the time you are done revising, you have revised it so many times that you know uh, how and what is going on. And also, while you are revising, you also have videos on each and every month taken by many other teachers. So we had videos from you. We had videos specifically for constitution from Naman sir on international law cases as well. So you get it revised so many times. You also make notes in your spiral because you used to write on those cases while we had the videos. So by 1st of December, I was very confident with cases that in recent cases, uh, I think I have prepared well enough. There won't be any problem.
So I thank you, Dhananjay, for sharing this with the aspirants, because this was a very important question. Because across, like for the upcoming aspirants I'm training right now, they also have the similar question. क्या पढ़ें क्या ना पढ़ें, ये बहुत बड़ा सवाल है, right? तो आपने इसको बहुत अच्छे से ब्रेक डाउन किया एस्पिरेंट्स के लिए. So, Dhananjay, my next question on this particular point would be कि आपने आपके 4 months को किस तरीके से डिवाइड करा? क्या आप अपना टाइमलाइन ऑफ प्रिपरेशन एस्पिरेंट्स के मतलब उनके बेनिफिट के लिए शेयर कर सकते हो?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, basically the first month in August when uh, I was not enrolled in the course in LegalEdge, I tried to give around 5 to 6 hours to my LM program because I was also preparing for judiciary. So I was preparing for procedure laws. Procedure laws are not asked in LM, so I had to give time to procedure laws also for my judicial preparation. So when I was giving 5 to 6 hours, by the month of August, I felt that I need a bit more. I need a bit more material and a bit more guidance because I had not appeared for such exams before. So when I joined LegalEdge, then again I made a whole list of the number of videos that I have to watch, and because in the portal there is also an option to see upcoming videos, so we know what videos will be coming up next. So I took that into account as well. I made a list. It came to around 5 to 6 videos. So I had to watch 5 to 6 videos every day so that by the time 1st December comes, I'll be through with all the videos. So I gave 5 to 6 hours to the videos. I used to watch videos on the speed of 1.5 because I could understand what
Hmm.
the teacher was saying. Then you allot 1.5 hours, that is 90 minutes to revision whatever you
Hmm.
studied that day. Try to make very short notes. Another thing that I would suggest the aspirants to do is I did not make any handmade notes because I had done that during my law preparation, the 5 years of my law course. And once you make handwritten notes, basically they get lost or you are not very confident about them, they get outdated. So I made my notes in Google Documents so that when I'm
Hmm.
preparing for judicial later on, that would be very helpful. So all the notes were made on Google Docs. If a new case came along, I copy pasted the same case on that particular topic. So by the end of, I think, 4th or 5th of December, I had a very huge compilation of all the theory for Google Docs. So basically, what the number of days divide the number of days with the number of classes, and then it will be around 5 to 6 classes. You do all those classes, you revise, you do some self study, and then you just try to go along the process. I think you take one day at a time.
So Dhananjay, just tell me that preparation is one part of your journey. The another is keeping calm on the day of examination, right? Many of the aspirants
Yes,
do
ma'am.
also fail. So what tips you
Yes,
have
ma'am.
for the aspirants or for the day of examination? What all things they
Yes,
have
ma'am.
to keep in their mind?
Ma'am, I believe the day of the examination and the day before the examination are equally important. What you do one day before the exam reflects on what you do on the day of the examination. Basically, that when you have prepared for 4 to 5 months and you go to give the exam, it's the test is not on the day of the exam. The test was all those days before the exam. For the 4 to 5 months when you prepared, that was a test. On the day of the exam, that's basically the result of what you did in those 4 to 5 months. You don't need to panic too much. Make a list of all the things that you need to carry. I
Hmm.
made a list that I need to carry this pen. I need to carry a ballpoint pen. Read the instructions carefully. I need to carry the admit card. I need to carry a water bottle, and I need to have some lightweight food day before the exam. So I don't eat something that is too sugary. So then when the paper comes, I should be able to concentrate on the exam. After that, when you have had the checklist, you write it down, you take it off, and then when the exam comes, you see the paper, don't panic. There are all the other students who are around you, they have also prepared well. You have also prepared well, you have given your best. And I also believe that when you see the exam, when you see the question paper, you need to, rather than just start solving the question
Hmm.
paper, you should first have a look at all the questions. That's what I used to do. I used to look at all the questions for 10 minutes. I allotted to the exam to just like
Hmm.
looking at the question paper. Once you have a good look at the question paper,
And because you have given so many mocks, so you know what will like you have an idea whether the exam is difficult or whether the exam is easy. In
Hmm.
case you see that the exam is overall on an easier side, now you have to make up your mind that you have to attempt as many questions as possible because the cutoff will go very high. That is
Yes.
some of the things that you have to micromanage during the exam. If you see that the exam is difficult, then you have to try to make sure that you only attend those questions which
Yes.
this strategy is different for CLAT, and this
Hmm.
strategy is different for IELT. Because in IELT, you know that you just have to score 50% marks in part A and 50%
Correct.
marks in part B. So you have to attempt all those questions. So you have to micromanage, you have to read the instructions and try not to just solve that exam like an examination of your LLB semester where you just have to give the highest marks. It doesn't matter the number of marks that you get. You have to get a rank. You are competing with other people. You're not just competing with yourself. So that is the micromanaging that is important.
Absolutely agreed upon, धनंजय. I feel कि जितना प्रिपरेशन में सिंसियर होना इम्पोर्टेंट है, काम होना इम्पोर्टेंट है,
Yes,
उतना
ma'am.
ही ऑन द डे ऑफ एग्जामिनेशन होना भी है. And what you suggested about micromanagement during the examination, that is a very integral part, but usually students skip thinking about beforehand.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Dhananjay, what final advice you would want to share with the aspirants, and after your success in both the examinations? First of all, tell me what you have decided finally. Are you going with CLAT or you're going with International Law University Delhi, and why?
Ma'am, I have decided to go for NLU Delhi because it's closer to my house. I will not waste too much time getting accustomed to a new city.
Hmm.
It is there, and it is basically it's very close to my current college, which I had for my LLB, IPU, GG's IPU. It's around I would say 700 or 800 meters close to my earlier college. So, and I also think that the faculty that is there at NLU Delhi, I think that would be very helpful, and I think it would be a very nice experience. So I've decided to go for NLU Delhi.
Great. So, Dhananjay, please share your final word of advice with our upcoming aspirants who will be writing, CLAT and AILET in the upcoming time, that is 2023 December, for the upcoming session. What would be a final word for them?
Ma'am, my final word would be for them is like try not to study from too many sources. If you have taken a course on LegalEdge, stick to the material that is provided to you by the team. That is the first advice. Rather than reading multiple sources, read the same source multiple times. Other than that, my second advice would be revise as much as possible. I think revision is the key to success. If you have to succeed in any competitive examination, I think revision is the key. I think 15% of the work is done when you revise properly.
Yeah.
The third thing is mocks, and mocks. As many mocks as you give, I think for the each mock you give, you add 5 marks to your end score. Each mock you give, you add marks to your end score. And also, I believe it is equally important to review your mock paper after the mock paper is done. Once, as soon as you have done the mock, don't just shut down your laptop and just you try to focus on other things. Give as much time to reviewing that mock, do the mock analysis, and also keep a chart, keep a diary, or keep any form of account of all the questions that you got wrong. Make a list of all those questions, and during a revision every day, look at those questions. So at least you don't get those questions wrong. Because on the day of the exam, the questions that we got right in our mock, they will be right anyhow because we got them right earlier. But the questions that we have gotten wrong, if we have made a diary of that, we've made an account of that, if we get them right, I think that's what separates you from clearing the exam and not clearing the exam.
Correct.
So keep a diary of that and just focus on revision. I also believe that it is easier said than done. I also had burnouts where I could not study for 1 week, or where I could not focus properly. I think it happens to all of us. It happens to the best of us. Even during examination or the day of examination, we get nervous. I think it's natural. It happens to everyone. And there's no one who studies consistently for 4 months or 5 months. Time will come when you'll not be able to study, but it is important to bounce back and then get back in the groove again.
Great. Absolutely agreed. There are highs and lows in your preparation journey,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
what I feel, and I agree on your point also, that you have to bounce back from your lows and reach
Yes, ma'am.
those high points in your preparation journey. So, Dhananjay,
Yes,
it
ma'am.
was a great conversation with you.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
happy to succeed in you to witness your success and be a part of your
Ma'am.
success journey. I'm very
Yes,
glad
ma'am.
that I could contribute as a faculty in your journey.
Yes, ma'am.
So all the best for your future, and hope to again, again see you succeed more in life and aim and reach your aim of
Yes, ma'am.
clearing judicial service examinations also.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you for connecting with us and taking time out, taking
Thank
out for this interview.
So thank you, ma'am. I would also like to say that a big contribution goes to the LegalEdge team, because all the videos that I took, all the classes that I took from LegalEdge, I think they were pivotal to me clearing the exam. I think without you, it would not have been possible. All those videos, all those classes that we had on recent cases by which I could connect as to why this case came into being, how is this case different from some other case which I read in the material or which I read on live law, which was on the similar lines, but this is different. So you could tell us how it was different. And also the material is made after a lot of research and thought, because you see that there's a title, then there's an issue of law, then there's a law point raised, then it also talks about cases referred. So in one page, you get the whole picture regarding that case. You don't need to go anywhere else. And I think that was also very wonderful. And so many times we revise the same case again and again. So it basically gets ingrained in your mind. So you know on the day of examination that I am sure that this option is eliminated, this is not the case, and this is not the case. And sometimes when you just read the paragraph, as soon as I started reading the paragraph, I knew this is about bail and this is this case. This is Satyendra Kumar Ante versus CBI. I know, no, this is what it's talking about. And also the mocks were very, very good. I think there were endless mocks. I could not finish the mocks even when I was giving 2 mocks every day. There were so many mocks and they were so well made. I don't think you'll find better mocks on the internet anywhere. The way they are made exactly according to the pattern that is given on the CLAT Consortium website, the sample papers, I think they were all wonderful, and your classes were also very, very good. Each teacher took so many classes. We studied so in depth. Around I was taking 5 to 6 classes every day, and it was very wonderful. And you were also connected to us through Telegram, so we could ask you doubts there. We could ask you doubts during the live classes. I think it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. And had I not taken these classes from LegalEdge, I don't think I would be able to clear the exam. It also gives you, you basically get a goal that you have to complete 5 classes every day. So you know that you're on the right track. You are doing the right things. You're studying from the right sources. And I also believe that you have the experience because you have been giving these classes for a long time now. And for any aspirant who is giving the exam for the first time, he doesn't really have that experience. So when you get a mentor, it's very helpful. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. It would not have been possible without you. And uh, I think I owe this examination design to you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dhananjay, for appreciating our efforts. And I am damn sure you will achieve what you want to achieve in your life. All the best for your all future endeavors, and hope to see you again and hope to meet you again in the near future. Thank you so much.
Thank you.